minute. I think I'm getting a little quicker each week at posting all the links on all the places that I need to, but good morning, happy Sunday. Hey, I'm gonna mute my computer, so Zoomers, if you talk to me, I won't hear you for just a second. Today I've planned a grounded flow, so this will be kind of themed around grounding. Some people need energizing, some people might need the opposite, but what I find is grounding never really hurts anybody. So we'll work on some grounding today. Please do let me know if you have any requests. You can comment on Facebook, you can comment on YouTube, you can comment on Zoom. I'm posting the playlists, also links for donations if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. We always appreciate those very, very much. One more thing and then we'll get started. As this is loading. Okay. I'll check for any comments anywhere. I know it's the ultimate. Hi, Rachel. Lindsay requests upper back shoulder blades release. Oh gosh, you and me and everybody else, I know. I want to make that look better and I don't think I can. Hello. Hi everybody, I'm back on Zoom to look at your beautiful faces. Hi Amelia. Okay, any requests, let me know. If you're just getting here, here is the playlist. It's in the chat on Zoom, it's in the comments on Facebook, it's in the comments on YouTube. Hi Lucina, hi Sarah. If I didn't say hi directly to you, hi Liliana. We do these classes on Zoom all day, every day. You can sign up through our website to see and be seen, as I say. Okay, well, oh hey, there's Mark. Hi Mark. So it looks like people are still signing on. I'll give it a minute, stalling in some way. Let me know if you have any requests. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are joining. Hi Olivia. Hi Julia. For once I'm ready to start and people aren't necessarily, I mean, I know you're waiting on me, but people are still signing in, so it's a win-win. Planning grounding, planning neck release as always, shoulder blade opening, little tension release there, upper back for sure. Okay, I don't see any requests on Zoom. Let me know. Let's get started. I have shared the playlist in lots of places. If you don't see it, please ping me, let me know real quick. I'll let you know, I'll try to remember. I'll let you know when to push play on that playlist. I always forget until it's a little later, but I'll really try so hard to remember. I'll tell you when to push play on that playlist, and we'll work on a little bit of grounding today, as well as everything else. So please make your way, if you're ready, to a comfortable seated position. 3 minutes, 52 seconds, pretty much a record. Okay, I'll give it a minute before I actually lock the Zoom meeting, but everybody's on mute. You can chat me if you need me.
I'll really try. Oops.
Are we on mute? Yes, we are. That was my own voice on the lag because I didn't mute YouTube and Facebook. Okay, comfortable seated position, please. Perfect. Comfortable seat, close your eyes. If you prefer to sit up on a cushion, if you prefer to sit cross-legged, if you prefer to sit kneeling, it's up to you. And I want you to feel comfortable and grounded. Christina, I just have to say I love your background. Close your eyes. But relax the muscles of your face. Release the weight of your pelvis down toward the floor. So that's one of my favorite beginning grounding cues, so that you feel a heaviness in the bowl of your pelvis and you feel rooted through your two sitting bones into the earth. Begin to lengthen your breath cycle. Go ahead and lengthen your breath in a really slow way with no expectations. So you're moving closer to the ends of your breath. That means you're finding the tops of your inhales and the bottoms of your exhales. It takes a little bit of effort to reach those ends. That's not our normal way of breathing while we're sitting waiting for class to start or driving or wherever. So imagine that it's like a gift that you give yourself this morning. Something that allows you to show up into your body and to show up into this practice. Another grounding tool is just to simply lengthen your exhales even more. So you can focus on making your exhales a little bit longer than they usually are, and also even a little bit longer than your inhalation. Give your exhales length and quality. Give your exhales a richness. Just pay attention to how that affects your experience, how it helps you to show up, or how it makes you feel. Bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Bow your mind to your heart. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, if you'd like to stay general with the theme of this class, my intention for myself today is grounding. But of course, you can make your intention anything you want it to be, anything that you're working on in your own practice or in your life. Lift your chin from your chest, open your eyes, and release your hands away from your heart. Tabletop, please make your way onto all fours so that you're on your hands and your knees. Make sure I can see the chat if you need me. Okay. Wrists under shoulders, place your knees under your hips. Spread your fingers out wide. Take an inhale, look up, drop your belly, fill your lungs. Exhale, round your back, press your spine to the sky, tuck your chin and tuck your tail. I didn't forget the playlist, we're going to do it in just a second. Inhale, look up, drop your belly down, spread your two sitting bones open apart from each other. Exhale, round your back. Tuck your chin, tuck your tail, and hug your front ribs to your back ribs. Big inhale, look up, drop your belly, fill your lungs. Exhale, round your back, cat pose, spine to sky. Neutral spine so that you're on a tabletop. Take your knees wider than they are now, knees just a little bit wider apart than your hips. Close your big toes together so that they touch each other. Child's pose, sit your hips toward your heels. They don't ever have to touch. Your hips don't ever have to literally touch your heels. And place your forehead down onto the floor. Soften the back of your body down toward the front of your body. Let your hips feel heavy as they move down and back. And let your forehead rest heavy down into the floor. Do you remember how you were able to breathe when we were seated just a few minutes ago? Can you move to the ends of your breath in this pose? Lift yourself back up to a tabletop. Now is the time to push play on the playlist. If you haven't already, you can push play. It's kind of a slow, chill playlist like I'm kind of fond of lately. It's called Slow It Down, Motown. So once you've pushed play on your playlist, you'll make it back onto a tabletop of all fours. Place your knees directly underneath your hips and your wrists directly underneath your shoulders. Make the back of your neck long so that you're looking down at the ground between your index fingers. Push the floor away from you with your hands gently so that you feel a little more space even here between your shoulder blades. So instead of sinking your heart down, you're creating space across your upper back. Tone your belly. Hug your low belly up to the front of your spine. Extend your right leg straight back behind you. Make your right leg parallel to the floor. Flex your right foot. And point your right pinky toe down at the ground instead of opening your right hip to the right. Hug your low belly back to the front of your spine and reach your left arm forward like you're going to shake a hand out in front of you, and the person you're shaking hands with is really far away. Lift your left arm a little more up alongside your left ear. And lift the back of your right thigh bone up toward the ceiling. Keep your right leg straight. And just place your left hand back down onto the floor. Keep your right leg straight and set your right foot down. The toes are tucked under. Your foot is on the floor back behind you. Press your right heel down and back until you feel a calf stretch. Press both of your hands down and forward. Then if it feels okay in your neck, drop your chin to your chest. Release to kneeling. I'm going to turn to face you. You can face the top of your mat. You can either be kneeling, sitting back on your heels. If you want to switch to a cross-legged or sit on a pillow, that's perfectly fine. Cactus bend your arms. Eagle right on top. Right upper arm will try to cross on top of the left upper arm. It's okay if your hands are far apart. Imagine magnets on the backs of your hands drawing them toward each other. If the backs of your hands are touching, you might wrap twice so that your palms come closer to touching. Take an inhale, lift your elbows up away from your chest. Lift your fingers straight up to the ceiling. Exhale, curl your upper arms down to your chest. This round is happening in the upper back rather than the waist. Tuck your chin to your chest. So I'm going to turn to the side and show you. It's a rounding of the shoulder blades apart from each other. 2 more times. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your elbows, lift your bind. Exhale, curl in, upper arms to the chest, round through your upper back, chin to chest. Last time, inhale, lift the bind, take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl in, eagle arms, squeeze down into the chest. Lift and unravel. Shoulder circles. Shoulders are just moving around in any way that feels good. Forward, backward, however you like to move. Tabletop. We'll check out the foundation here first. Tone your belly, lift your low belly up. Spread your fingers wide and make the back of your neck long. Push your hands down into the floor to fill out the space between your shoulder blades, and extend your left leg straight back behind you. Make your left leg parallel to the floor, so we're not trying to extend it way high up. Usually that only comes at the cost of collapsing in the low back. So make your low back long. Flex your left foot and turn your left pinky toe so that it points down at the ground. You're looking down at the floor right in between your index fingernails. Go ahead and extend your right arm straight forward, like you're going to shake a hand that's really far away from you. Like I always mention, we're not trying to be good at it. We're not trying to be steady. That's not the point of this practice. So when you feel a little bit wobbly, you say, yes, that's what's supposed to happen. Okay, set your right hand back down onto the floor. Place your left foot on the floor behind you. Calf stretch, press down and back with your left heel. Press down and forward with both of your hands. And if it feels okay, drop your chin to your chest. So that's kind of like softening the muscles of the neck so they don't have to work to hold up the weight of the head. If you prefer keeping the back of your neck long, that's great too. Release to kneeling or a comfortable seat in any other way. Cactus, bend your arms. Eagle left on top, left upper arm on top of right. We're trying to cross above the elbows. It's okay if that doesn't happen. Then imagine that there are magnets drawing the backs of your hands toward each other. They don't have to touch. If they do, you could wrap twice so that your palms touch. Take an inhale, lift your elbows, lift your fingers, lift your eye gaze a little bit. Exhale, curl it in. Hug your upper arms down to your chest, drop your chin to your chest, and round your upper back. Inhale, lift your bind, lift your chin slightly, lift your fingers. Exhale, curl in, hug your upper arms down to your chest, drop your chin to your chest. Last time, inhale, lift. And exhale, curl in. Okay, lift your chin, unravel your bind, and move your shoulders in any nice way that feels good. Tabletop, hands and knees. You can start to move your rib cage from side to side, opening up into the side bodies for the first time. You can move your ribs around in a circle, one direction and then the other. You could shift your weight forward and stretch more into your upper back, shoulders like we had been with Eagle Pose. You could shift your weight back and stretch more into your low back muscles by shifting your hips side to side. A couple more breaths to move on your own. Downward dog. Tuck your toes, stretch your hips up and back behind you. Bend your right knee a lot. Press your left heel a little bit more down to the floor. Doesn't have to touch. Leg does not have to be straight. Other side, bend your left knee a lot. Press your right heel a little bit more down to the floor and breathe a long breath cycle. Okay, press equally back through both thigh bones and walk your hands back to meet your feet. Grab a hold of opposite elbows or upper arms. You can bend your knees a lot or a little, whatever feels good. Just a couple breaths in this first forward fold. Neck be long. Let your head hang heavy. And release your arms back down toward the floor. Bend your knees, softly drop your head. Roll slowly to standing. Take some time. Take a little more time than you usually do. Slowly rise. Push your heels down into the floor to make your legs straight. Your chin will be the last to lift. Then bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Lift your heart to your thumbs. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Lead with your heart. Drop your head and your arms. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Pull the front of your heart through your shoulders to the front wall. Exhale, downward dog. Walk your hands out forward toward the top of your mat. Stretch your hips up and back away from your armpits. Close your feet together so that your inseams touch. Squeeze your legs together on each other. Make your legs as straight as you can. In this transition, spike your heels up, plank pose. Roll through your belly, hug your front ribs in, firm your glutes, and lift your chin away from your chest. Lower all the way to your belly. You can do this with your knees up or down. Exhale. Untuck your toes, cobra. Make the back of your neck long. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Empty your lungs. Place your forehead on the floor. Inhale, cobra. Lift your heart any amount. Exhale, lower down. Forehead to the floor. Empty the lungs completely. Last time, inhale, cobra. Lift the base of your skull. Down dog. Exhale. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Help your foot forward if it didn't make it. Set your left knee down onto the floor. Go ahead and keep your left toes tucked under today. Move your hips down and forward. We'll keep the hands on the floor, framing the right foot. If it would feel more comfortable to put your hands up on your thighs or hands up on props, you can use books, you can use anything that's close to you, water bottles, whatever you have for props. Just feel what that's like in the front of your left hip. Then move your hips back as you start to feel a stretch in the back of your right thigh. Start to straighten your right leg, flex your right foot. So another pose where you might really like to have your hands up on something. If you don't have anything handy to put your hands on, but the floor feels too far away, bend your right knee a lot. You can keep your right knee very bent in this pose, especially without props. Rebend your right knee, walk your hands forward until they frame the right foot. Hold here, take a deep breath in. Hold here for a big breath out. Downward dog, plant your hands. Lift your back knee and step your right foot next to your left. And step your left foot forward between your hands. Set your right knee down onto the ground. Make sure your right leg feels long back behind you. And keep your right toes tucked under. We've got the left toes pointing straight forward, and also bend your left knee straight forward until you feel a stretch in the front of your right hip. Check out what's going on in the back of your neck. If you feel any tension there, make the back of your neck long. If you like to drop your head like chin to chest, that's fine with me in this pose. Regardless of what you're doing with your neck and your head, pull the front of your heart forward through your shoulders toward the top of your mat. Half splits, start to straighten your left leg. You'll peel your hips back until they stack on top of your right knee. So rather than sitting onto the right heel, we got the left foot farther forward than that. Your left leg doesn't have to be straight. Flex your left foot. Point your left toes straight up instead of turning open to the side or sickling to the inside. As you start to feel sensation and maybe start to feel challenge, how can you use your breath as a way to achieve grounding? Focus on a mindful breath. Give your exhalation length and quality. Rebend your left knee. Keep the hands on the floor. Move your hips down and forward. Hold for an inhale. Hold for an exhale. Downward dog. Plant your hands. Step your left foot back next to your right. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step, walk, or jump, feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen a lot. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, rise to standing, reach your arms out and up, deep breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, Sanskrit for mid-plank. Put your hands down, move your feet back, and lower either halfway or all the way to your belly. Untuck your toes, cobra or up dog, your choice. Lift your heart any amount. Down dog, exhale. Push the floor strongly down and forward with your hands and pay attention to the connection between your hands and the floor. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step or jump. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Stretch your arms up high. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Sternum to front wall, back of the neck long. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Set your hands down, take your feet back, and lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Untuck your toes. Press the tops of your feet down. Downward dog, exhale. Your heels do not have to touch the floor in down dog, and your legs don't have to be straight. Even if your heels are not on the floor, regardless of what they look like, can you feel a sense of grounding as you press your heels down and back? You can feel an energetic sense of grounding without the physical touching of the heels to the floor. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step or jump. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Then exhale, forward fold, which is Uttanasana. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up. Urdhva is the Sanskrit name. Exhale, Tadasana. Bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen a lot. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, step or hop, lower slowly. Inhale, up dog or cobra, lift your heart. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Stay on the ball of your back foot, but before you rise, make sure that your feet are not on a tightrope. You want the right foot to the right of your midline and the left foot to the left of your midline slightly. Inhale, crescent lunge, rise to standing, reach your arms up. Hold here, keep breathing, bend your right knee straight forward and lift the back of your left knee toward the ceiling. Take one more inhale, reach up higher. Warrior two. Exhale, place your back heel down. Extend your arms out parallel to the floor and sit deeply. Allow your left frontal hip bone to close slightly forward toward the top of your mat. Just a little bit of a turn with your pelvis, slightly forward. Then bend your right knee more and make your left leg completely straight. Inhale, reach forward like you want to touch the front wall. Extended side angle, exhale. Right forearm to right thigh. Extend your left arm alongside your left ear and make the back of your neck long. If you need to feel more in this pose, more of a hip opener, sit your hips deeper, your right hand might go lower. Take one more inhale to your left lung. Exhale, stand up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, chaturanga or down dog. Put your hands down, step back, and lift your hips. If you're moving, inhale, up dog or cobra. If you're still moving through a vinyasa, exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Stay here for a beat. Make sure your feet are not on a tightrope. If your feet are on a tightrope, move your left foot slightly to the left. Inhale, crescent lunge, rise to standing. Hold here and breathe. Sit deeply into the bend in your left knee. Move your left hip backwards in space. Lift the back of your right knee toward the ceiling. And lift your heart up and back away from your pubic bone. Take one more inhale. Warrior two, exhale. So if you imagine the flat front of your pelvis, we actually are not trying to face that square to the side wall. Instead, close your right frontal hip bone slightly forward toward the top of your mat. Like you can move your left outer hip more from the side to your back heel. So we got the arms out parallel to the floor. Extend your fingers apart from each other and sit deeply into the bend in your left knee. Inhale, reach forward, big breath in. Extended side angle, exhale. You can do left forearm to left thigh. Instead of reaching down, so I know you see people touch the floor and you say, I want to touch the floor too. Instead of reaching down to touch the floor, it's like you're sitting lower in your hips to touch the floor. And your left hand might go closer to the floor. Make sure your neck feels good. Stay here, take one more inhale. Exhale, warrior two, stand up. Keep your left knee bent. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back, breathe into your left lung. Exhale, chaturanga, put your hands on the floor, step back and lower slowly. Inhale, lift your heart, up dog or cobra. Down dog, exhale. Excellent. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach your arms up high. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Cactus, bend your arms. Eagle arms right on top. Same idea as before, hands don't have to be able to touch. Feet together, bend your knees like chair pose. Stand on your right foot, pick your left leg up off the floor and cross your left thigh on top of your right. So I'll show you the side view. We're sitting low like a chair pose. The left leg is crossed high on top of the right. Then also, instead of leaning way far forward, lift your heart up like it's moving through your arms to the ceiling. You could have your left toes on the floor like a kickstand, or left toes could just be floating, or curl your left toes behind your right calf if you never have knee pain. Tone your belly and lift your heart. And the attempt in this next transition is that we'll keep the left foot off the floor. Unravel everything, lift your left knee to your chest, and reach your arms to the ceiling. If you need more of a challenge, straighten your left leg to the front wall and lift your left toes. Hold for an inhale. Release. Exhale. Hands to prayer at the chest. Feet together. Second side, cactus, bend your arms. Eagle arms left on top. You'll do left on top of right. I'm making no attempt to mirror you. Then we'll make chair pose happen in the legs first, then pick your right foot up off the floor. We're standing on the left foot. Your right leg is crossed high on top of your left leg. Whatever you can do is great. You can either leave your right toes hovering in the air, or set your right toes down on the floor like a kickstand, or curl your right toes behind your left calf. Tone your belly. Lift your heart to your thumbs. Lift your thumbs, your fingertips more toward the ceiling. Keep your belly strong. Inhale, lift and unravel the arms. Lift your right knee to your belly. Reach your arms to the ceiling. If that's not challenging enough for you, straighten your right leg toward the top of your mat. Take one more inhale, lift up high. Release, feet together, hands to prayer at the chest. Inhale, stretch your arms up, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Lead with your heart, drop your head and your arms. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga or down dog, hands down, step back and lower slowly. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Down dog, exhale. Lift your right leg, inhale. Exhale, lizard. Step your right foot to the floor on the outside of your right hand. Drop your left knee to the floor. You can untuck your left toes if that feels more comfortable to you. And angle your right foot. So instead of the right toes pointing to the top of your mat, they're just going to turn a little more out to the right, like a 45-degree angle-ish. If this feels like too much, you can put your hands up on a makeshift prop. If it feels good, stay right where you are. If you need more, lower your elbows down to the ground on the inside of your right foot, but move your hips down and forward. How's your breathing? Have you thought about your intention since you said it? If you're on your elbows, press your hands back up underneath your shoulders. Heel toe your right foot in between your two hands. Inhale, stretch your arms to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest and twist to your right. You'll hook your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. If you're modifying for pregnancy, you could twist to the right and keep your hands in prayer at your chest if there's room there. You can also open to the other side or hold steady through center. If you need more of a challenge, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee off the ground. I don't need that, it's really hot in here. Press your right hand down into your left hand and move your thumbs more to the center of your chest. If your back knee is lifted, lift the back of your left knee up to the ceiling a lot. Take one more inhale. Release your hands to the floor. Exhale. Half split. Start to straighten your right leg. So just like we did at the beginning, but we'll turn this into a different pose. So this is the transition through half splits. For the next pose, you can bend your right knee as much as you need to. Move your left hand to the right side of your right leg. When you do that, you might start to feel something more on the outside of your right hip. If you don't feel that enough, flex your right foot more. Start to angle your right foot more to the floor. The razor edge of your right foot will move closer to the floor. Back to down dog. Work your hands back around to the top of your mat and step it back. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, lizard. Step your left foot to the floor, knee outside of your left hand. Set your right knee down onto the floor and untuck your right toes. Turn your left foot open so that your toes angle away from you 45 degrees. You could put your hands up onto something or stay on your fingertips. You could hold here on your hands or lower down to your elbows. Move your hips down and forward. So I usually encourage people, sometimes what happens is I'll see like the right hip sink around and down to the floor, and then the left foot is not flat. I'm in the camp of like, just because you can doesn't mean you should with that, just specifically with that pose. We're not looking for that extreme kind of rotation here in this pose. We'll get a deeper glute stretch, a hip opener, once we get into a pigeon variation. But for now, let this be a little more about the inner left thigh with the left foot flat. So you push down through the ball of the big toe of the left foot. And we keep the hips facing forward instead of swinging off to the right. Down your elbows, press your hands back up through center. Heel toe your right foot. That's strike two. Heel toe your left foot in between your two hands. Move your hips down and forward. Inhale, reach your arms to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Twist to the left, hook your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. If you're modifying for pregnancy, you can hold here in this upright lunge. You could turn open to the left if you have room in your belly. That without using the leverage of the elbow, or you could kind of turn open to the other side. Push your left hand into your right hand so that instead of your thumbs touching your left shoulder, you're pressing your thumbs more to the center of your chest. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands to the floor. Last pose here, half splits is the transition. So you stack your hips over your right knee and make your left leg, doesn't have to be straight, just in that way, in that direction. Move your right hand to the left side of your left leg. So you turn your chest and your belly over across your left leg. If you feel too much, bend your left knee more. If you want to feel more, flex your left foot and turn the razor edge of your left foot closer to the earth. Down dog, walk your hands back around to the top of your mat and step your left foot back next to your right. Now we'll transition to lying down in the back, right into a supine, flat lying down in the back position, but with the feet planted on the floor so that your knees are bent. You'll plant your feet on the floor, reach your arms down alongside your body. Pull your heels kind of close into you. It's my real technical measurement. Pull your heels kind of close into you. And make your feet be about sitting bone distance apart. So feet are not wide like the edges of the mat. They're just not quite touching. Firm your glutes. So you feel where at that space, right at your sitting bones, like where your hamstrings meet your sitting bones up near your glutes. Firm that place. Arms down alongside the body. Place the back of your head gently on the floor so you're looking straight up in this pose. Bridge, lift your hips. You can either grasp onto the edges of your mat and try to rip your mat apart. Firm your glutes, lift your hips, push your upper arms down onto the floor. You could also do robot arms with your fingers toward the ceiling and the upper arms down on the floor. Or interlace your hands underneath you and rock the upper arms closer toward each other. Notice if you feel your knees opening away from each other. Pretend you have a yoga block between your thighs that you can squeeze on. So the knees don't touch, but they're squeezing toward each other. And take one more deep breath in, release, exhale. Cross your right ankle to your left thigh. So now is the pigeon variation. We're making a figure 4 with the legs. So the right knee is opening away from the chest, away from the back of your mat. Flex your right foot. If you need to feel more, use your right hand, press your right knee away from you. Or interlace your hands either behind the back of your left thigh or in front of your left shin. So the second variation is just a tiny bit deeper. You can either close your eyes or soften your gaze. And notice what it's like to be here. Not with a lack of sensation, not in a complete resting pose, but in a place that is definitely softer and more grounded than when you were standing on one foot. Or when you were feeling the physical challenge of a pose or of a flow. Release, other side. Plant your feet on the floor. Cross your left ankle to your right thigh. You can either stay right here with your right foot on the floor, or interlace your hands behind the back of your right thigh, or in front of your right shin as you hug your legs closer in. Are you using this pose as a way to be kind to yourself? Sometimes our expectations of the poses or our desire for instant gratification or really fast change means that we're not using these poses as a way to serve the body. So as I always try to remind you, we're not here to serve a yoga practice. We're using the yoga poses to serve your body in each breath. Release, unravel your legs. Plant your feet on the floor and separate your feet wide to the edges of your mat. So feet are wide, but they're still planted. Keep your feet wide, especially the left one. Your left foot will stay wide to the left. And let both of your knees fall to your right. I like to teach this pose a lot. For the quadricep stretch, I think that it's the most accessible quad stretch. I think that it's okay to do, like I have a little bit of knee pain sometimes, and this is the one that is the most accessible. Also, if my quads are feeling really tight, same thing, most accessible. That's why I teach it so much. If you don't yet feel a quad stretch, reach down with your left hand and pull your left heel closer up to your body, closer up to your left hip. Then lengthen the front of your left thigh by pressing your left knee toward the top of your mat. Hands can be anywhere. If you do ever feel knee pain in this pose, try flexing your foot a lot. It actually carries through in a lot of poses. Whenever you can, flexing the foot can often protect the knee. Let's bring it back up through center with both knees. You can reset your feet so you're even planted on the floor with your feet wide, especially the right foot, slightly wider to the right. And we'll take your knees, move them to the left. You might feel plenty just in that transition. Your right knee doesn't have to go low. If you don't feel enough, reach down. It might be far away. You might have to really reach to grab your right heel and pull your right heel up closer to your right hip. If you still need more, push your right kneecap to the top of your mat. So it's lengthening from the lengthening the front of the right thigh by pushing the back of the right hip forward to the front of the right hip. Okay, back up through center. Plant your feet hip width distance. Last pose here, cross your right thigh all the way on top of your left thigh. So no space between the legs as best you can. Reach your right arm out on the floor to the right side of you. And twist. Drop your knees to your left. Need a deeper twist. Pick your hips up, your left hip, move it backwards. Breathe down into your belly. Lift your knees back up through center. Unravel your legs and reset your hips. Cross your left ankle to your, left thigh all the way on top of the right thigh. Reach your left arm out on the floor to the left. And twist to drop your knees to your right. You can move your hips more backwards, so your hips are more in line with your spine instead of off to the right, if you need to feel something deeper. Either back of the head to the floor or turn your chin to your left. Right hand can be anywhere as long as it's not doing work, so it's not pulling on the leg. You lift your knees back up through center and unravel your legs. Hug your knees into your chest. You can either do hands on kneecaps, hands around shins, or wrap your forearms around your shins if there's room. You can move your knees around in space or rock a little side to side, whatever feels good. And now is the time, if you would like to switch, I'm not sure where it is yet, if it could have started already, I'm trying to think of the length of the playlist. The Savasana song, the last song on the playlist is Ajna. If you want something slightly softer for the end of class, you can switch to it now. And we will move into Savasana, which is the Sanskrit name for a final resting pose. Extend your legs straight out on the floor in front of you. And reach your arms down alongside your body. Palms face up. Make sure that you're comfortable. If you can move around, if you can fidget around and make yourself any amount more comfortable, please do. Close your eyes. And relax the corners of your eyes. Relax the muscles of your face and your jaw and your tongue. Relax your throat and let your breath be what it wants to be. No more control or effort in the breath. Release the weight of your body down to the support of the earth. And allow yourself to feel cradled by the earth beneath you. Be still and soft. And enjoy your rest. to deepen your breath. A movement in your hands and your feet, your wrists and your ankles, your arms and your legs. Rock your head gently from side to side on the floor. And stretch your arms behind you on the floor. Stretch your toes to the wall in front of you and take a long stretch. Bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor. Fetal pose, either side. Rest your head on your bottom arm. Place your top hand on the floor in front of your chest or your belly. Now press your weight into your top hand. Press up to a comfortable seat. Take your time as you make your way up. Bring your hands to prayer at your chest and bow your mind to your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. Namaste. Thanks everybody. I hope you feel really good. I hope you feel more grounded. If you're on Zoom and you want to stay on and chat, please feel free to stay. We can have a little chat. I'll sign off from the live stream. If you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube, we appreciate your donations. The links to Venmo and PayPal are in the comments. We do these classes all day, every day. We only live stream a couple of them, but you can go to practiceyogaAustin.com and sign in through Zoom. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next week.